My second high-level client wasn't looking for more automations or AI. They were simply looking for more visibility on Google. And once I understood that, the conversation became more simple. And in this video, I'm going to go over the simple system that I used to help get my second client. Hey, my name is Paul Kim, and I help agency and consultants get their first or next high-level client by focusing on the fundamentals before you even build anything. All right, so in today's video, I want to talk about, I think as soon as somebody gets their first client, the next thing they are thinking of is, I need a better pitch, or maybe I want to introduce more features into my offer. But the fact of the matter is, most local businesses, business owners, they don't care about software. They don't care about automations. They just want more visibility on Google and they want more leads and more customers. And in this case, my second client, which was a orthodontist, right? It was an orthodontist that I just regularly visited because of my kids. And I was in there and the orthodontist was right there. And, I think the conversation just came up with what I was doing. Or I think the fact of the matter is I just kind of brought it up and what I did. And then I just said, hey, is it okay if I just come to your office and schedule an appointment to talk about your Google ranking and the number of reviews? And I think at that point he was frustrated. So you have to get people at the right time, in the right situation. Okay. But it was as simple as just, hey, more visibility on Google, right? And most importantly, improving their Google ranking. But it's not just improving the Google ranking. Ultimately, the result of improved Google ranking is that they're going to get more calls and ultimately, therefore, with the hope of getting more clients or patients for their orthodontist office, right? And he had two locations at that point. All right, so to put it simply, right, this is literally the system, right? So if you think about it, most local businesses want visibility, right? And if you think about my framework, if you have not watched my video on the my local framework, I'll put the link on top, right? It's LOCAL, local, right? Local visibility stands for L, and then O is for opt-in, and then C is for conversation. Okay. Now, those three are important because that's the beginning of the system, right? And the simple is most local businesses want local visibility, which is important with regards to Google. Now, most local businesses have a problem with this L, right? This visibility is because there's key components that you have to understand. Is number one is that they are not getting. There's other things that you need to be aware of. Okay, I'm not going to get into that, but most importantly is they're not getting reviews consistently, right? They're not getting reviews. They're not responding to the reviews, and they're not doing consistently. And so, if you can solve those problems, right, for this business, you have helped them basically improve their ranking. So in this case, right, my second client was a orthodontist, and basically I scheduled a follow-up call or scheduled a follow-up meeting with the orthodontist. I went into the office and then I sat down, came prepared, and showed them what's called a local heat map. If you're not familiar with that, I'll maybe do a video in the future about specifically how to do that, and show them their ranking in relationship to their competitor, right? But ultimately, I sat down and listened to their frustration, which is number one is they weren't getting enough reviews. And one thing I did mention to him as I saw this in his Google reviews was that their second location was getting a lot of reviews, but nobody was responding to those reviews. And so I fixed their number one. The first issue was I provided them a QR code, right? I suggested that we create a QR code and create a process so that you can try to get more consistent reviews. And then I showed them the second is having AI automatically reply to those reviews so that their staff doesn't have to take their time away to respond to these reviews. Okay, and all of this was done is done through a platform that I use, which is called HighLevel. If you want a 30-day trial of that platform, go check it out. And I'll provide all the resources and I'll help you also get your first or next client using HighLevel if you use my affiliate link below. All right. So the link I'll put below and go check it out. So on a practical level, if you are trying to get your first or maybe your next client, don't focus on automations, AI. Focus on listening to what the client wants and finding the simplest way to deliver that result. And typically, what I ask myself is that what is that one thing that is going to move this business forward, right? And even to this day, clients that I've had for many years, I've always looked at their business and asked myself, like, or even I ask them, what is that one thing that's going to move that business, right? So I hope this video was helpful to get your first, second, or maybe your next client. And if you have not watched my local framework video, I'll put the link. Go check it out now.